Hi Pisces, it's your Patsy here, and I'm doing your love life for the time period between mid-April and mid-May 2018. So I already done my prayers, and I cut the cards, shuffled and cut them, laid them out. We're going to be using cards this month from the Goddess and Sirens and the Gods and Titan decks, and these are by Stacy DeMarco and Jimmy Monton. I'm sorry, Manton. And we'll also be getting a card from the Wisdom of the Hidden Realms deck, and that's by Colette Baron Reed. All right. So the way this is going to go is this reading is for you, the viewer, and we're dealing with the male energy on this side, and this side will be the female energy. So these two people may or may not be a couple, but these are the messages that you need to have about concerning your love life and what's going on around you. Well, it could be people around you, but this is mainly guidance for you. Okay, so first energy that we got for our male Piscean is Prometheus. Prometheus talks about altruism. That's about looking out for humanity, philanthropy. This could be about doing what you can to uphold your fellow human being, to give to those who may be discriminated against. Um, so this is someone that may be fighting for someone's civil rights, someone who may have been an abolitionist, someone that type of a character, a heroic person who is giving of themselves and willing to take chances to stand up for the things they value and that they believe in. They feel that this work that they do to uplift their fellow man is is a gift, or is their service not only to their fellow man but also service to God, service to the divine. All right. Prometheus' story basically is that um, he was the person who was given authority by Zeus to form humankind out of mud, out of clay, and he formed the his creations in the image of the gods. And so Zeus didn't care for that too much, and he decided he just wanted these um, creatures to be there to worship the gods, to worship him, Zeus, the head god, right? Um, so Prometheus, he just was so in love with these creations that he wanted to protect them and give them a way to protect themselves from the elements and feed themselves. So he went to Mount Olympus and he stole fire from the gods and snuck it back to Earth, where he shared it with humanity, and that enabled them to be able to cook and to be able to build and to be able to forge weapons to protect themselves. Well, Zeus got hold of that information. He looked and he saw that mankind was going to be independent because of the gift of fire. He punished Prometheus. And so legend has it that Prometheus was chained to a mountain, and a vulture, I believe it is, would tear his liver and eat his liver every day, but he wouldn't die, and the liver would grow back overnight just to have the vulture come back and eat his liver again. but he never regretted his actions and the gift that he gave to mankind. So this is someone who is willing to sacrifice of himself on behalf of his brother or sister. Someone who may be artistic. So this is you, Pisces. Then I believe that that's what the message is, that this is about someone, a Piscean here who's watching, who may be artistic, maybe a fire sign. It could be any sign. But this is someone who is an artist, someone who is sensitive to the needs of others, that he feels that humanity should at least have the basic. Um, like everybody should be on an even playing field in order to have the best possible chances for survival. All right, so again, someone who would be, you know, um, organizations like the NAACP, Southern Christian Leadership Council, um, people like Bill Gates, I would imagine, uh, Oprah, people who are willing to give of themselves, even Bill Cosby, um, any of our, any Jay-Z, Beyonce, people who have not only for themselves, but feel it is their place to share knowledge and information and education with those less fortunate, those different from them. Because Prometheus was a titan, he wasn't a human and he wasn't a god. So, the cards that came for you, my male Piscean, from the Romance Angel Oracle deck were Free Yourself and Make the Effort. Free yourself and make the effort. So, in regards to this, maybe you're giving too much of yourself, or maybe they're telling you to make the effort to free yourself, maybe from your job or from your supervisors, your employers. Maybe they are taking advantage of your good nature. Okay, maybe you are in charge of supervising other people, and you feel maybe that the way that the higher ups want you to treat your employees, your staff, doesn't sit well with you. And so it may be telling you that maybe you need to make the effort to get away from this employer. Maybe it's time for you to start looking for somewhere else to be. Could be suggesting that you start your own business, make the effort to start your own business, or to maybe um, create some organization that would be more true to your values and what it is that you would want your company's mission to be. Okay, you could be a business owner yourself who is fair with his employees, And maybe that's not something that your shareholders or your business partners appreciate about you. And again, maybe it's saying that you need to make the effort to maybe get away from that. If this is about a love relationship, it could be saying that you need to, maybe you're being taken advantage of, or maybe what you think is being altruistic is seen as others as being controlling. And so maybe that's something that you may need to take a look at and maybe um, back down, maybe make the effort to let go of those type of issues that maybe you are causing yourself more of a pressure, or you're creating a situation, making things rougher on yourself than they need to be. But you're a noble person, so you really don't even care if people don't like your principles or the fact that you have principles. But maybe it's saying that you need to make the effort to um, bring other people on board to your way of thinking. But I'm thinking that it's saying that you should make the effort maybe to create something on your own that would speak more to those values that you hold if you're in a working environment that doesn't um, uphold your philosophy in life, doesn't um, reinforce the way you see the world or what you think you could better do to serve mankind. So that could be what it's saying, is that you maybe need to make the effort to free yourself from this situation. If it's about a love relationship, maybe you need to make the effort to um, maybe maybe you're feeling sorry for somebody. You're playing Captain Saberho or something, like you're giving too much. Maybe that's what they're saying, is that you're giving too much. You're giving too much and it's not being appreciated, or it's being misconstrued. That your good deeds are not being recognized. You know that saying, that there's a saying, no good deed goes unpunished. That's the kind of feeling that I'm getting. That maybe you're going out of your way to make an effort in your relationship, and that maybe the person that you are going towards is not receptive, or they're not appreciating all that you are. Maybe they see who you are. Maybe they don't appreciate that altruistic um, way that you have. Maybe they don't want you to share. Maybe they're worried that you're taking from the family to give to others. And there are people like that that will sacrifice not just of themselves, but take from their families and give to others. And sometimes their families, are very upset about these things. They feel that, those things are for the family and not shouldn't be given away so as they see as without thought or hastily. You know, sometimes when you are very generous, your family members get jealous about that, even if it's not for another love relationship. Just the fact that you're generous with other people or other people's children or other family members, they feel like everything that you have should only be for them and not to be shared with others outside of the family unit. So I'm thinking that you're facing those kind of pressures. You maybe feeling under that kind of pressure this month. Okay, let's take a look at the female energy over here. So our female energy for the time period between mid-April and mid-May for Pisces is Lilith. Lilith speaks about equality. Now, Lilith, for those of you who don't know, was the first woman that was created um, at the time of creation in the, Judeo-Christian Bible. The story that we most of us know is of Adam and Eve. Well, before Eve, there was Lilith, and Lilith and Adam were made at the same time, and they were both formed out of clay, and so they were birthed at the same time, and so there was equality. And the legend has it is that Lilith did not feel that she should be subservient to Adam, even when it came to copulation, intercourse. She did not like that. I guess Adam was watching what the animals did because that was that's what the only examples they had, I guess, and so she just didn't think that that was why should she have to be subservient to him, and so she revolted against the order that Adam thought that he had the right to establish, and she ran away. And the story is that God sent after her and said that she can come back. She was if she comes back, all will be forgiven. That she was right, and that he'll take care of it. And if she didn't come back, and he was going to cause any children that she gave birth to be deformed and such. And so Lilith stood her ground, and she said, "Then I'll just have to, I'll just have to stand the wrath of the Creator because I'm not going back to be treated like that." And so she's pretty much been written out of the Torah and the Old Testament for those reasons, that she stood up. And so the next story that we hear is Adam fell into a sleep, and that the Lord took a rib out of his side and created a woman. And so now she's not equal; she's under his arm. Anyway, that's the story. But that's who Lilith is. So Lilith talks about equality. She talks about justice for women. She talks about standing up for yourself. All right, being independent. All right, not hating men, not having no use for men, just being equal and wanting to be respected for your intellect and for your strength and for all the things that make you feminine that should not dictate that you are lesser than. You may be different than, but not lesser than. So you can Google about Lilith. Okay, she's made out to be like a horrible person, cast into the pits of hell and all this other stuff. But again, consider this Lilith. You know who's written the Bible and take certain things with a grain of salt. That's why when you're looking like, well, where did Cain and Abel and Seth get wives from? Because they were his half sisters. Their, well, yeah, because Adam would have been the father of those children. And remember, time traveled differently, all right? But those would have been maybe daughters of Lilith that grew up with them. those may have been the wives that they took when they went out to populate the world. Or maybe powers that be would rather have us confused as to, oh, we're talking about incest and what did they do and this and that and that, rather than say, well, this is what happened. Because one, keep these women from trying to think that they're equal. Two, don't be talking about divorcing and then they still surviving and having family. Nah, anything. So remember, consider the source. No offense, gentlemen. Just talking to the ladies right now. And that's no shade on anybody's belief system. I'm just saying where this particular energy came from, right? Some of these energies are Persian, some are Viking, some are Celtic, some are Judeo-Christian. All right, so two cards, came for you, female Piscean, from the Romance Angel Oracle deck. And first card was Engagement. So this talks about getting engaged. This talks about conversations, exchange of ideas, getting out, socializing, or taking your relationship to the next level, communication. And the next card that came out was Wedding. Settle down, girls, settle down. But it was Engagement and Wedding. In that order. Right on top of that energy. On top of the Lilith energy. So, congratulations, some of us out there. Good for you. So, now, what is this message? Spirit saying that maybe you are about to get married and you feel like you're going to lose some of your independence. Is that the problem, Pisces? You're afraid of becoming someone's wife and losing your identity, losing your independence. Is there a hesitation? Is that why you feel like maybe that's why the Spirit is saying you need to engage in conversation? Maybe something that you haven't fully discussed with your partner. Maybe they're not aware of how much this is a concern of yours, even as you go forth with your wedding plan. Your need to feel equal partners in this relationship. Well, I think that that's something that needs to be discussed. I think that's something that you need to share with your partner and give them a chance, not that they're going to run away to the hills, but this is who you've always been, so they already loved you through your personality. But maybe you reach another level of understanding with one another if you're honest with them and explain to them that you do have that fear. And not that only that you're afraid, but also that you want to establish the boundaries. What is it that this marriage looks like? What do you think is going to change that hasn't changed already? Are there things that you're seeing about your partner that's making you think that maybe if you get married, you're not going to be as free as you have been used to being? Maybe you're more worried about them changing than you changing. You think that maybe they're that once they get papers on you, because you value yourself and you value your independence and you know your worth, and maybe you're afraid that once they get papers on you, that they're going to try to shut down your life. So you're nervous about entering into this relationship. Because as much as you love your partner, and I think you do love your partner, you also love yourself. And you don't want to get lost. I think that you do understand what a marriage is. I think you do understand the commitment that it's going to take to be a couple and raise a family. And I don't think that it's anything about you being rebellious or anything. I just think that you just don't want to lose yourself because you've seen so many other people around you do it, perhaps. So many people lost themselves in relationships, and you don't want to be one of those. So that's smart. You want to avoid the pitfall. The way to do that is to discuss these things with your partner and find out what it is that you all need to agree upon about the way that your relationship is going to look in the future, so that you don't fall into the traps that you're afraid that you'll fall into. So might not even be anything about this relationship. It just may be what you've seen or what you've experienced or all the horror stories that you've heard from other women around you, um, just watching other women around you, your mothers, grandmothers, aunts, sisters, whatever, and you just are nervous and you want to make sure that your partner understands how important your independence and equality is to you. And I don't see any fault in that. And I don't think that they will either. All right, so the next set of cards that we got were from the Wisdom or Hidden Realms. And the card that came up for the male energy was the Resting Tree. Patience, stillness. So we're back at this situation here where you're giving very much of yourself and you know the importance of giving of yourself and to use your uh, finances and your talents and your abilities to uplift your community, uplift humankind, right? But you're being told that maybe there's a situation around you where you need to free yourself, that maybe you need to make the effort to free yourself from a situation where someone could be taking advantage of your higher nature. They see that as a weakness and they're taking advantage of it. This card here, the Resting Tree, number 22. Again, this may be talking about maybe you're involved in a twin flame relationship. You could be involved in a twin flame relationship. And you know that part of that journey will be to do things to uplift the collective. And maybe the people around you don't understand that, or maybe the person that you're with right now doesn't understand that. So maybe you are a twin flame in separation. You haven't found that other person, Pisces, that will get you. that will join you in your desire to share and to uplift. The resting tree is a sign for you to stop focusing and planning and to be at peace in the moment. This is the representative of non-action and relaxation. Patience is the key to being with this ally. The resting tree asks you to slow down, to sit back and watch the roses bloom and the birds feed in the meadow. This isn't the time to forge ahead in any way. Hmm. You may not be taking enough breaks, so you're invited to be still and contemplate your good fortune, even if it means blessing the chaos in your life. This is a sign to allow everything to fall away except the stillness of the moment. It's like living within the space between breaths. So maybe you have been doing too much. Maybe you have been running yourself ragged, giving too much to others. And I think what this is saying is that you need a vacation, you need to relax, you need to rest. When the resting tree appears, it signals that you've done all that you can do for now, and it's time to unwind and allow your story to unfold of its own accord. You've earned the right to rest and relax. Amazing ideas will come if you do. Remember the ancient saying, we do without doing, and everything gets done. The resting tree, appearing as a challenge, asks you to consider if you're so frantic that all you can think about is how stressed you are. Running around and overdoing anything only makes you into a human doing, not a human being. This is a sign to be careful, or you may become physically ill, or at the very least, unable to enjoy your life. So maybe you're doing too much. Be still. It's time to meditate, take time out, and make some mistakes. Or you'll make some mistakes that you might regret later. Don't worry, all those things you're trying to manage will still be there when you're ready to move forward again. Only then will you have a clearer head with which to think. So, I think that they're saying that you have well done, thou good and faithful servant. And you're still going to do. It's just that right now you may need to take a rest. You may need to slow down and give yourself chances for more brilliant ideas to come to you. Find other ways to get other people on board to help you do some of this philanthropy. All right. So right now, for the month of this time period between now and the middle of May, make an effort to free up some time and to rest yourself. Take a vacation, or at least see if you can distribute some of the work. Let others help you. Take some of the burden off of you, at least for a little while, until you can. You may not feel that you're run down, and you may not feel that you're suffering, but there may be things going on inside that you don't know, or things that may be getting ready to start happening, and that's why you're being cautioned now that you need to rest. Okay. That's for our male energy. For our female Piscean, 3 cards came. And they were the wise woman of Wonderland. Just talks about integrity and compromise. The Swan Queen, transformation, intuition, and patience. And the Spirit Whisperer, divine guidance and higher knowing. So, in reference to our Lilith energy, that may be a little hesitant about your upcoming nuptials, I think it's talking about you love your partner, the Swan Queen. We know swans made for life, right? They grow, they're intuitive, they're patient, and they're loyal. This card is 13, which is the number of the death card in the Rider-Waite tarot. Also, it's the number. It's the death is the sign of Scorpio. Also, 1 and 3 is 4, so this is foundational. So this is about changes, growing up, rebirth, getting rid of the old to start again with the new, using your intuition and having patience. Patience with yourself and patience with your partner. Wise women of Wonderland, integrity, compromise. So, oh, we got another swan. There's another swan in this card. You got a swan here and a swan there. So again, this is about love. Yes. And a love that's going to last. And it'll last if you learn how to compromise. And you have integrity. Don't pull this out at the last minute as a concern or wait until after you're married to discuss this with your partner. This is about having the balls, all right, the strength, the integrity to stand up and say, this is what I'm concerned about. What is it that we can do together to allay my fears, right? So that I can be as happy and excited about this wedding and this engagement, this marriage, as I want to be. So there may be counseling that you may have to seek. Of course, speaking to your ancestors, your spirit guides. This is 21, and that's a 3. And this card, the Spirit Whisperer, is a 3. Changing, patience, using your intuition, having integrity, learning how to compromise, seeking divine guidance, and higher knowledge. Again, that's your intuition. You're being protected and guided through this lesson, because that's what this is. This is one of your Your gifts, the spirit is giving you a gift, a wedding gift. They're going to teach you how to use the tools that you already have in order to address this concern that you have with your partner. If this is a couple, it could be saying that maybe the way to ensure the respect and the equality is to take some of this burden, not burden, because he's not burdened. He doesn't feel burdened, but to involve yourself in those efforts that of altruism that when you do that, as you do that, you reinforce his respect and also give him a chance to fall back a little bit. If you are able to, or if you desire to, if this is your relationship, if this is a couple here, maybe you show your equality by willing to take on equal burden in all things, not just the bills, but also the mission. That now that you all are going to be together, you're going to have to assume some of the responsibility for that, to help him do his work, just as he needs to help you do yours. That's where the respect, that's where the equality comes in. All right, because isn't that what everybody say? Well, you have to earn my respect. Well, maybe that's what's going to get. Maybe that's what's coming to play. Unfortunately, maybe you have to earn his confidence and his admiration by you stepping up without him having to ask you for your participation. Using your wisdom, following divine guidance to solidify your position from the get-go, starting in the gate. I think that's what the message is for you here, Pisces goddess, that you are being given the information and the advice so that you will not fear this commitment. And if this is a twin flame relationship, because it pretty well could be for some of you, if this resonates with you about your own relationship, where your fiance, your man is doing a lot and he's very giving, maybe he's busy in the church, maybe he has a little league team or coaches football, or he's a swim coach, or he has a charter school, or he works with his students. Maybe he's a doctor and he volunteers hours, things like that. You need the advice I think here for you is to work together to find a way to ease up some of the burden of yourself if you're the masculine energy, and in the female energy to take some of that burden and gain your equality through your works, to assure your partner that you are about your business, that you mean what you say, that you're just as capable as they are of finding a need and filling it for the rest of humanity. And why not do something that he's already passionate about? Why not help him and bring your talents and your gifts to that situation? It'll benefit your relationship, it'll benefit your partner, and it'll benefit the rest of the community. So that could be the message that was for you today. So I'm going to get one more card. Let's see if we can get any more messages from the Sacred Rebels deck. And this is by Alana Fairchild. Let's see if we can get a message real quick. So this was intuitive and the book. I'm going to read it this way. Makes sense. These are really, really strong cardstock. Really heavy. But when you bend them, they may stay the way that you bend them. Like you bend them to do the back fan thing. You may have to bend them back, straighten them out again, so that you can shuffle them up and down. They're beautiful cards, and this is the back of them. Wisdom of the Hidden Realm. Okay. Sacred Rebels Guidebook, and this is again by Alana Fairchild, who's also the author of The Journey of Love. One message for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for the month of mid-April to mid-May 2018. Follow your own rhythm. Number 5, this is about change, creativity, love. 5 is number 4, Shuno. Shuno talks about love. Follow your own rhythm. You can be yourselves and still take care of yourselves and still stand up for yourself. Follow your own rhythm. You don't have to do what society says in your relationship, in your marriage. You can make your marriage your own. You can make new traditions. This oracle brings you a message that you cannot miss what you are destined for, nor will you gain anything by trying to push yourself. Trust in life, in the life circles within, and you will feel the perfect balance between effort and surrender, discipline and letting go. Follow your own rhythm. No one else has to tell you better than you. You will know because you have wisdom here. And the spirits are communicating with you. And you use your intuition. And in stillness and patience, you'll get the answers to lead you towards your goals, to a harmonious relationship, following your own rhythms, dancing to your own beat of a different drummer, dancing to a beat of a different drummer, dancing to the beat of a different drummer, being generous and humane and giving and caring towards your fellow human being, and believing in equality with your fellow human being. Ashe. Thank you, Pisces. I hope you enjoyed this reading. And if you have any questions, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification button. That way, if I do any live activities, you'll be the first to know when I go live, whenever that happens. All right? So let me know, and I will be talking to you guys really soon. Thanks again. I'll see you at the beginning of May for your June general reading. Talk to you soon. Oh, let me know what you think about these cards and what's your favorite of the tarot cards that you've seen me use. Akashic Tarot, Tarot Sexual Magic, the Archangel Power cards. Let me know what you think, okay? And I'll be talking to you also. Bye.